Hello students. We were doing the third chapter of our political science book, okay, and the name of the chapter is Constitution Design. I have already covered so many things. Again, I'm going to repeat that. I have covered up to page number C. I have covered the democratic constitution in South Africa, then everything. Then the second topic that I have covered, that why do we need a constitution, okay. Then I talked about making of Indian constitution, okay. In that I have covered almost you can say 60 or 70% of the things. Only few things are remaining that I am going to cover in this lecture. Fine. So I told you that how constitution, you can say how the Constituent Assembly made the constitution. Fine. Now the thing is, the next thing that must come in your mind, that must be in your mind, that even though after having, you can say, 74 years of independence, okay, then also why we are still following that the same constitution. What is the reason behind that? There must be a question in your mind. So see, basically the most important thing is that when our constitution was framing at that time, each and every point of every person, suppose that means you can say person belonging to the scheduled caste, scheduled tribes, you can say ST, SC, ST, OBC, general people, that means keeping that viewpoint in their mind, that the, you can say, the demands of the minority, the demands of the, you can say, lower classes, backward classes, everything that was kept in their mind, okay. And and that was okay at that time, each and every point you had considered, and that all those things, even the things that were written at that time, still also we are getting the reflection of that. That is why even after having, you can say, 74 years of independence, we are still following the same constitution. We have not, amendments were done according to time, but if something which is too reliable, okay, that is why we are following that, okay. So the thing is that the constitution, the thing is that the constitution does not, you can say, reflect the views of its member alone. This is the most important thing. It is not the reflection of only one people. No. Suppose if I am the member of the constitution, you can say Constituent Assembly, only the viewpoint is of not only mine, but I have taken the consideration of the viewpoint of the all members, plus I have check out the things in the reality, that whether the things which I am going to frame will applicable in all the situation or not. So it is not the reflection of, you can say, one member alone, and you can say it expresses a broad, you can say, consensus, okay, of its time. Now many, so see, there are so many countries that they framed the constitution, but the reliability of the constitution was not, okay, not at that time. You can say the constitution that they framed was they did not, you can say, take the consideration of, they had not taken the you can say consideration of the common people, that what exactly they wanted. So because of that, so many times the constitution was written again and again, that means amendment was done, okay. And because we have to run a country. For running a country, it is the most important thing, is that you have to take the people, okay. You don't have to think about one person. You have to take the people as a whole, and you have to frame the policies according to their need. So this is the most important thing. Like many countries of the world have had to rewrite their constitution again, because the rules that they were framed were, you can say, not accepted by the major social group also, and you can say, and other countries also. Fine. This is the most important thing. So that is why we are still following the same constitution right now also, because of its reliability, and the things that they adopted at that time was really, you can say, appreciable, because they had considered the things what we really need at that time and right now also. Fine. Now the next thing is that the second reason, you can say, for accepting the constitution is that Constituent Assembly represents the people of India. Now actually, now people of India means what? Actually we are talking about the universal adult franchise. That means we see earlier, we have gone through that French Revolution, the Russian Revolution also. So in French Revolution, people fought for their you can say universal adult franchise right. So we have seen that people's participation in forming, you can say, or framing any government is the most important thing. So we have gone through it. We have seen that really, that there must be power in the hand of the people, so that they can choose their representative. Okay, and that means there must be, you can say, voting right to the common people, you can say, like without doing any discrimination on the basis of caste, creed, color, race, anything. That means any person who is above 18 years of old, they can easily cast their vote without any discrimination. Fine. So this is the most important thing. Okay, so again I'm repeating the first thing that I told you, that the, you can say, constitution does not reflect the, you can say, ideas of not only one person alone. It is the reflection of the ideas related with each and every aspect of their life. And fine. The next thing is that the next reason for accepting the constitution is that the Constituent Assembly represent people of India. There was no universal adult franchise at that time, so the Constitutional Assembly could not have been chosen directly by all people of India. So it was elected mainly by the members of its existing provincial legislatures that we mentioned above. So basically, we have chosen it, that these members, because we are having, you can say, well educated member in the you can say, Constituent Assembly, that they they had gone through the, you can say, constitution of different countries. I told you in the previous video also that we have taken what we have taken from which countries. So that means they have gone through all the constitution, and from that what they had done, they just take out the crux, that this is the important things. Yes, we need this, we have to incorporate all these important features to our country. That means a little bit modification was done, but we have taken from different countries, and what we have done it, we have made a right now we are having a constitution. Okay, that the Indian constitution. Now you can say one more thing, the thing is that how, you can say, that Constituent Assembly works. So basically the most important thing is that the Constituent Assembly worked in a systematic, you can say, systematic, open and consensual, you can say, manner. Firstly, what happened, firstly some basic principles were decided. Okay, then discussion were done, you can say, agreed upon them. Then you can say a drafting committee chaired by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. He was the, you can say, the chairman, okay, of drafting committee. So that under the, you can say, leadership of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, they prepared a draft, okay, draft for Constitution of India. Fine. Now then what happened after that, several round of discussion were done, okay, and discussion were taken place, and after that, clause by clause, this we have to include, this we have to include, this we have to remove, so many things were done. And finally what happened, after a long discussion, and you can say then amendments also were done at that time, because amendment is necessary. The Constitution of India is not rigid, that no, if something is written you cannot change it. No, it's not like that. Time to time the needs of common people, okay, change, so we have to do little bit modification in that also. So it's like that, so many amendments were done. Right now also, if something doesn't suits or doesn't fit according to the present need, we do amendment, but not by my own decision, but you can say participation through, you can say we have to go through you can say a long discussion in Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, and so many things were done. So many things you can say that we have to follow. So the same thing is applicable right now also. Fine. So the member, you can say, deliberately for 114 days spread over 3 years. That means they have, you know, I told you that they have gone through so many constitution of different countries. Okay, and then they have chosen you can say the most important thing which really suits our nation. Basically, our country is a country with having diverse, you can say diverse, we're having culture, tradition, language, each and everything. So according to that, you know, that at that time they you can say chosen out the things. Fine. So after, you can say they did each and everything, and finally after 2 years, 11 months and 18 days, finally we got a constitution of our India. Fine. So in your book we are having, you can see the members who involved in drafting that constitution. Like we are having Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, then we are having Abul Kalam Azad, then we are having T.T. Krishnamacharya. If you wanted to go through it, definitely you should know it, at least just go through it for once, that what they have done it. And like Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, he was considered to be an, you can say, Iron Man of India, and he was a lawyer. Okay, I hope you are aware about that. We are having the world's largest statue of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. Okay, in Gujarat. Now, so T.T. Krishnamacharya, then we are having Rajendra Prasad also. Fine. Now, like Jaipal Singh, we are having H.C. Mukherjee, then Baldev Singh, G. Durgabai Deshmukh, we are having then we are having Khyati Lal, you can say, then Bhim Rao Ramji Ambedkar, then Shyam Prasad Mukherjee, then Swaminath Lahiri, then we are having Sarojini Naidu, then Jawaharlal Nehru. So all these people, they really played, you can say, and one of the most prominent role in you can say framing the Constitution of India, and while going through different constitution of other countries also. Now the next thing is that the guiding values of Indian Constitution that we are having. One more thing that I would like to tell, that we are having certain things on page number 48, 49. Okay, we are having the thoughts. Okay, then 50 also, and on 51 we are having the preamble of our Indian Constitution. So this you have to that you should go through it, because I am going to tell you the most important things, like in our constitution, in our preamble. Basically, what is preamble, that I am going to tell you, and what preamble reflects, and that I am going to discuss. Fine. So in this, on page number C 48 and 49, you should go through that, because we are having something just that you should know it. This, for knowing purpose, this is the most important thing. Fine. Now, so talking about the guiding values of Indian Constitution. So see, basically the guiding value of, you can say that the most important thing that you should know the philosophy, that what philosophy of what our constitution is all about, that we should know. Fine. So basically, if I can say that talking about the philosophy, it's a dream and promise. Okay, it's a dream and promise of you can say that Mahatma Gandhi also, that you can go through it. Okay, like I shall strive and for a constitution which will release India from all thraldom and patronage. I shall work for an India. These you can say that it's a dream and idea that Mahatma Gandhi wanted to be a part of our Indian Constitution. So basically, what Mahatma Gandhi wanted, that like this dream for an India that has eliminated inequality was shared by Dr. Ambedkar, who played a key role. So basically, you know, only with the help of Constitution of India, we can enjoy the equality, right? Equality not only in the sense of job, not only equality in front of the law, but equality in each and every field. This is the most important thing that we are getting from the constitution of our India. Fine, I hope, just go through it. Okay, only you have that, you should know it. So you can go through this page number 48. We are having some views of that Jawaharlal Nehru also okay, that you should go through it. Fine. Now the next thing that we are having, I would like to talk about the preamble of our India. Okay, so basically preamble is the, you can say, soul of the constitution. Okay, like see, the preamble says that means what the constitution of India is having, that is given in this preamble. Fine, in a very concise way, in a very brief way. We are having the NCERT book. In NCERT book, that this preamble is given in every book. Okay, if you wanted, you can check out. I hope this is given here also. Wait, let me check out. Basically, wait, right in this book, but in your geography book you are having that preamble of India. So that we should know it, that is why it is given in your book. So basically, when we talk about preamble of India, we the people of India, having solemnly resolved to constitute India into a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic, and to secure to all its citizens justice, social, economic, and political liberty of thought, expression, beliefs, faith, and worship, equality of status and opportunity, and promote among them all fraternity, assuring the dignity of individual and the unity and integrity of the nation. In our Constituent Assembly, this 26th day of November 1949, do hereby adopt, enact, and give to ourselves this constitution. That means, that means we are having some highlighted word, that means like sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic, justice, liberty, equality, fraternity, that you should know the meaning of these things. Okay, so I am going to explain, like we the people of India means what? The constitution has been drawn up and enacted by the people through their representatives, okay, and not handed down to them by a king or any outside power. That means basically this constitution is written by, you can say, a representative members. Okay, we are having a team member. What they have what they did, they have gone through different constitution, and they taken out the most important things which really help in the development of our country. So now talking about the sovereign means what? People have supreme right to make decision on internal as well as external matter. No external power can dictate the government of India. That means you can say basically we can say make decision by own, whether it is related with internal or external matter. Now socialist means wealth. Socialist here means wealth is generated socially and should be shared equally by the society. Government should regulate the ownership of land, industry, to reduce socio-economic inequality. That means we have to be social. That means everything, whatever we are having, that must be, you can say, distributed among the people in equal manner. Now secular means that India has no religion. We respect all the religion, but we will not promote any one religion. Okay, like see, citizens have complete freedom to follow any religion, but there is no official religion. Government treats all religion, beliefs, and practice with equal respect. That means India is not going, that means constitution is not going to say that yes, we are Hindu, you can say, nation country, we are Muslim nation country, we are Sikh nation country. No, it is not like that. We are secular. That means we are not going to promote any religion. Okay, people may follow it, whatever religion they wanted to follow, they can follow, but the government of India is not going to support any one religion. Now, democratic means basically you can say that in which we can choose our representative, okay, for a fixed period of time. So see, a form of government where people enjoys equal political right, elect their rules and hold them accountable. The government is run according to some basic rules. So basically in democracy what happened, we are having you can say representatives are chosen by the common people and they are accountable to the common people for their actions. Fine. Now, talking about the next thing, liberty means the head of the state is elected person, sorry, republic, I'm talking about the republic. So the head of the state is an elected person and not a hereditary position. So basically what happened, republic means that we are having the president, like president is not like that one by one. Suppose if right now basically we follow democratic rule, fine, like right now we are having Ramnath Kovind as a president. So after Ramnath Kovind, it is not like that only his son or his daughter is going to be the president of India. No, it's not like that. It is not like this, because what we are having democracy. So in democracy basically representatives are going to choose it. Fine. Now, justice. So basically justice means you can say those people who really face that something wrong is happening with them, they can definitely go to the court and demand for their rights. There you can see the fundamental right also, and whatever justice, whether it is related to, you can say, inequality, anything, if they are facing that something is missing, that means something their rights are, you can say, violating by the state or anybody, definitely they can go and take the help of the court. Now, liberty means that you are free to do whatever you want, but the thing is that you should not hurt the sentiment of any people. You can easily express your views, you can easily choose any religion, you can easily you can say do the publicity of anything. You can move from here from one place to another place very easily, express your viewpoint, thought, everything, but the thing is that you should not hurt the sentiment of any people. Fine. Equality. Now, talking about equality, basically equality means that everyone, whether we're talking about the rich person or the middle one or the lower section of the society, they all are equal in front of law. And equality must be done on the basis of, you can say, everything, every aspect, whether it is related with job opportunities, whether it is related with, you can say, a status and anything. So equality must be done. Okay. Now, talking about fraternity means that all of us should behave as if we are member of the same family. No one should treat them fellow citizen as inferior. That means talking about that we are one. That means development of, you can say, feeling of brotherhood. Like whether you are the king, no issue, you may be, but in India, we are talking about the Indian Constitution, we are one. That means we are a part of one family. So it means that fraternity means talking about the feeling of brotherhood. That means you have to develop the feeling of brotherhood, that we are one and we are a part of one family. That means the family is India. We can say India. Fine. So I have covered the things. Now I want you to go through institution design. Right now we don't have too much things, but the most important things I have already discussed with it. Fine. So please go through the chapter, and right now also you are having that the constitution of, you are having United States, the preamble, you can say, then we are having the preamble of South Africa. If you just go through it for your knowledge. Fine. So please go through the things. I hope you understood the chapter. Thank you so much. Okay.